Hi doulas, how are you? It's been a long time, sorry. I don't know what is going on this fall. It just seems like a week turns into a month and a month turns into 2 or 3. But I'm happy to be here with you. And I want to chat today about something really kind of cool and interesting. One of the things, of course, that I've noticed, I'm sure I've talked about it at some point on some video, is sort of the idea of diversifying your revenue streams, if you will. So, of course, you can absolutely be a birth doula, you can absolutely be a postpartum doula, you can absolutely do both. You can teach, you can provide products or services. I mean, there's really so many different things that you can do with this line of work. The truth is that being on call all the time for 4 or 5 births a month, that's really intense. It can be really intense and it's a lot. And so some doulas prefer to take on a couple of birth doula clients and then fill the rest of their revenue needs with other types of things. One of the things that I've noticed a lot in my doula training is people come to my doula training who are yoga teachers, yoga instructors. Sorry if I don't know the proper term. And it got me thinking a little bit more about that. And over the years, I've been a doula trainer for quite a few years already. Over the years, I started thinking, I might want to teach yoga at some point too, or at least do a teacher trainer, yoga teacher training class for myself and learn how to do it. And a really interesting thing happened to me about a year ago. About a year ago, I was thinking sort of disappointingly about how I wasn't going to be able to go anywhere warm in the winter. For those of you that don't know, I live up in the Toronto area in Canada, and it is pretty frigid here in the winter. So it was just one of those years I was getting ready to sell my house and I wasn't going to be able to go away. And I believe a lot in the law of attraction and manifestation and, kind of tried to spin that a little bit and think a little bit more positively about, that really something can come out of nowhere. And later that day, something came out of nowhere. Someone who had taken my doula training a few years before, who was also a yoga instructor, emailed me and said, I know this is a long shot, but how would you feel about joining me to co-teach a class in Guatemala in 2 weeks? Shockingly, it worked for my schedule, which was amazing, and I was so excited to go on this adventure. Little did I know in saying yes to that opportunity that opportunity and that trip would change my life. For so many reasons and a million reasons I can't even explain, I really feel like that trip, maybe it was the space, it was the location, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I found it to be really, really transformative. And I'm really excited that we're doing it again this April. So from April 11th to the 19th, we're doing a combined prenatal yoga teacher training along with a birth doula training. So it's an 85-hour total Yoga Alliance certified prenatal teacher training. It's done in partnership, so obviously I am not a yoga teacher trainer, I'm the doula trainer, and I do that portion of things. And Julia Forrest teaches the actual prenatal yoga teacher training part. And Julia took my doula training years ago. And one of the things that I hear a lot from yoga instructors who take my training, and specifically the ones who have an interest in working in that prenatal and postpartum space, is they tell me how much it helped them to be better yoga instructors because of the information that they learned in the doula training. And now that is whether or not they actually go on to become birth doulas or postpartum doulas. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And it's something that over 10 years I've heard over and over. I bet you I've had over 100 yoga instructors come to my training. And, I don't know how many of them go on to become certified birth doulas, but I don't think that's what it's about. I think it's really about 2 aspects of pregnancy and birth preparation that can come together in a really unique way. Whether you're a doula, I think if you're a birth doula, you could benefit from learning about prenatal yoga in terms of how we can help people prepare from a physiological perspective and get their bodies ready for birth, right? I mean, how often do we see things like that come up in birth where, if people's bodies felt better, that they would probably have an easier time, where, tight ligaments maybe cause breech baby or posterior baby or an asynclitic baby. But there's so many reasons why these two things blend beautifully together. And so I wanted to talk to you about the training today. For those of you that might be interested in doing a nice little getaway in April and coming to join us in this prenatal yoga teacher training combined with birth doula. Now, if you're already a birth doula, hey, that's cool. Come anyway. I'm one of two main lead instructors. Julia Forrest is the lead instructor. Julia is from Awakened Spirit Yoga, and you can find more info about their organization at awakenedspirityoga.com. And you can register either there or at my own website, doulaschool.ca. There's tons and tons of info there. So bottom line is you can come do this really cool certification, dual certification, really, when you think about it. Now, for the people who want to be registered with Yoga Alliance as a prenatal educator, you have to have done a 200-hour yoga teacher training. If you haven't done that, you absolutely can still come. You just won't qualify to be registered on the Yoga Alliance site as a prenatal yoga teacher, because you need to do a little bit more than that. Now, what I really want to talk about is the location of this training, because I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this before. So the location is in San Marcos, which is right on Lake Atitlan in Guatemala. And it is one of the most beautiful, serene spaces I have ever been in my life. So for starters, we'll be staying, and the training will be taking place at the Yoga Forest in San Marcos. And the Yoga Forest is a permaculture place, which is really cool because you get to learn about permaculture too. So the cabins it's the weirdest blend of luxury and rustic at the same time. So for me, it just felt so amazing and cozy. And at the same time, it's permaculture. And so electricity is limited to the main cabin at specific times of day. And, so you're not going to be reading to a light at night. You're going to be reading to candlelight, which is actually kind of lovely and cool. And, we use lamps to walk around everywhere at night because there's no lighting from anything other than the moon. And, but it's also the most beautiful thing. And I'll tell you, waking up every morning and, looking beyond my toes and seeing the volcanoes in the distance and that, tiny little bit of smoke coming out the tip of the volcano, set over this majestic lake. There was just nothing like it. It was so peaceful. And having phones, just putting our phones away during the day and not having the hustle and bustle of the noise of, cities and, the skyscrapers blocking our view from nature's majesty. All of that stuff was just really breathtaking. The other thing that's really amazing is that, we're set within sort of a Mayan area in Guatemala, and there's so much culture brought into the area, and there's really a lot of culture brought into this training. So we start and we end with a Mayan fire ceremony. And last year, I don't know exactly what we're planning this year. I suspect similar things, but last year we spent some time in a Temazcal, which is a really cool sort of culturally authentic sauna, sort of outdoor sauna, if you will. And that was just unbelievable. We had fires at night, and we did flower baths, and really it was just everything to nurture your soul and your body. Food was amazing and just so healthy. I absolutely adored it. There's really nothing that I would have to complain about this place. Okay, you got to walk like 15 minutes up a hill to get there. So that's the one thing. But once we're there, we don't have to go anywhere if we don't want to. So we can be there for the week. It's just a wonderful space to share with people who are looking to do the same kind of work, this really beautiful heart-centered work. And yeah, and so basically, if this is something that sounds appealing to you, whether you're for sure wanting to teach pre and postnatal yoga, whether you're for sure wanting to become a doula and you see the benefit of that body side of, understanding the sort of physiology and that anatomy and how we can support our families with that as well. Whether it's that you're going to work as a doula, you're not going to work as a doula, honestly, it doesn't really matter. I think that if you have an interest in learning about this topic, I cannot imagine a better place to do this. And so I hope that you'll join me in April. I would love to see you there. There's only 12 spots, so I'm sure the spaces are going to fill really quickly. I wanted to put it out to my beautiful network of doulas because I know you are all, interested in learning and growing in this profession. So I would love to see you there. It's pretty affordable, so I think the current price right now is $13.50 and accommodations are $50 a night. For shared accommodations, it's $75 a night if you want private accommodations. So I mean, where do you get accommodations for that price, right? That price includes all of your food and all of the activities that we have planned. So if that's something that interests you, I would love to share that with you. Again, you can find more info at doulaschool.ca. I hope to see you there. Bye.